Good morning, Team Alabama. Here is Don't You Dare Read This, Mrs. Dunphrey. And we are ready for page 15, and that is September the 16th. A reminder that our main character is Tish Bonner, and we know that something rough is going on in her life. And she is asked to write a journal for her English teacher, Mrs. Dunphrey. And she kind of doesn't like it right now, but she's doing it. And so we hear her words. And so when we think about what point of view is it in, well, it's in first person because and our clue in that is I. And then our text structure. Our text structure is how the author organizes that. And so the text structure, and it's by day, that is in chronological or sequential order. So it follows that logical pattern. So we're going to start on page 15, and that is September the 16th. And remember, the teacher said if she just has to do it, but if she doesn't want the teacher to read it, she writes at the top, "Don't read this." So she's got that on there today. "Don't read this, Mrs. Dunphrey. Aren't you proud of me? This isn't due for 2 days, and I'm doing my last entry already. I wouldn't admit this to anyone, of course, but this journal stuff isn't too bad. It's better than any of the other homework you teachers make us do. As long as you're not reading this, I can just put down whatever I'm thinking. I'm feeling bad because I had a fight with Matt this morning. Well, not really a fight, but a problem." Who's Matt? That's her little brother. So make sure that you're adding your facts, because you're going to need 50 to 70 facts for this book also. And you're going to need some questions. So you might be thinking about what questions. Good readers always ask themselves questions while they're reading. And then vocab as we come across it. "I always help him get ready for school because Mom's working nights now at Haggerty's Super Value cash register. She doesn't get home until after we're at school, but I'm not sure if that's when she gets off or just when she finally gets around to getting in. Anyhow, this morning, Matt was taking a long time eating his Cheerios. It's like he had to eat each one individually. I told him, 'Hurry up.' I didn't mean to be mean, but it came out sounding nasty, like maybe something my dad would say. Matt started gulping down his cereal, and when he picked up his bowl and was going to drink all the leftover milk, only he was going too fast and half the milk spilled down his front. 'Now look what you've done,' I said, and this time I really did sound mean, and I didn't care, because I knew that meant that he was going to have to change his shirt, and I wasn't sure if we had any clean ones left. There was no way we were going to be able to leave on time. It would have been okay if Matt had yelled back at me, maybe told me it was my fault for making him hurry, but he just sat there and he bent his head down, and I could see that his lip was trembling, and then these little tears started rolling down his cheeks. His yellow hair was sticking out all over the place, and he had a milk mustache, and he looked totally defenseless. I felt like I'd done something awful, like drowning a kitten. Matt's like that, like some little kitten, or like Bambi. It's like hurting him would be the worst thing in the world. So I cleaned him up and found the least dirty shirt in the laundry basket for him to put on. And because I felt so bad, I was really rough with him, and I couldn't get him to stop crying. He was still crying when I walked him to school. And, of course, we were late, and I got detention for the rest of the week for being tardy. And that means that I am not going to be able to pick Matt up after school today, tomorrow, or Friday. So I can't stop worrying. He is 7. Of course, which should be old enough to walk home by himself. I was walking home by myself at 7, but somehow he doesn't even seem as old as I was at 5. Okay, let's add some facts right now. So Tish has a brother named Matt. Tish's brother is 7. He spilled his milk and made him late for school. Tish got detention. Matt started crying because she was pretty firm or mean to him. What questions can you ask? My question is, where's Mom? Where's Mom in all this? She's just sleeping? She lets Tish do all of that? What role has Tish taken on? Okay, page 17. I hope he's not still crying. The other kids make fun of him. I know they do. Maybe I'll stop at Sackberry's after detention tonight and buy him a bag of Snickers. They're his favorite. At least then he'll know that I'm not mad at him anymore. I tried to tell Sandy about all this with Matt, and she looked at me weird and said, "Hey, he's just your brother and not your son. Can't you let your mom take care of him for once?" She's still kind of mad at me because I insisted that we take Matt to the mall with us on Sunday, and I wouldn't let her shoplift with him around. Okay, so Sandy's the one that shoplifts. And Matt's favorite candy is what? And did they want Matt to be around? No. But Tish is the one that is so responsible. And what role is she taking on? What role does she do? And there was this great hot pink miniskirt that she really, really wanted, but she didn't have enough money for it. I don't know why she was so upset. It was no skin off her nose. She just went back and got the skirt on Monday. And now, when the teacher writes to her, she writes, and it's in italics, so that's how you know it's the teacher writing. Tish, I appreciate the amount of writing that you're doing in here, but do you think that every once in a while you might write an entry that you would allow me to read? I don't expect you to reveal anything that you don't want to reveal, but I would like to know how this journal keeping is going for you. September 22nd. Yes, Mrs. Dunphrey, you can read this entry. Well, it's hard to believe that school has been going on for almost an entire month now. I feel like I've learned so much. Ha ha. You wanted to know how this journal keeping is going for me? Okay, I guess. I know everyone's complaining about having to do 2 entries a week, but hey, you're the teacher, right? You could make us do 5 a week if you wanted, right? That isn't a suggestion. I'm sorry, I really don't have much else to say. I'll write more later. September the 23rd. Don't read this, Mrs. Dunphrey. Geez, was yesterday's entry bogus or what? You shouldn't take it personal or anything. For a teacher, you're not too bad. I mean, you don't yell at us like Mrs. Ratchethead does. And you at least try to make things interesting. It's not your fault that none of us really care about Shakespeare or who's that other guy that you were talking about today, Faulkner? Neither one of them has anything to do with my life, as far as I can tell you. Did either of them have a father that left them and a mother that might as well be a zombie? Did either of them have to work at a dumb job like mine, frying up thousands and thousands of French fries for all the kids who don't have to work? I don't think so. Okay, let's ask us some questions. Let's ask questions now that we can put in our journal. Okay, we're keeping the facts, and now underneath it we have questions, and you need to number those. So number them 1 through 10. Number your facts, number your questions. And so we might say, why is Mom a zombie? Why isn't Dad in the picture? Where did he go? How long has he been gone? Okay, good readers ask themselves those questions. So let's ask some of those. Page 20. But anyhow, because you're a teacher and all, I'm not going to write anything for you to see that really says anything. For all I know, you could go tell someone that Mom's mistreating Matt and me just because she's not there to fix us breakfast every morning. Something like that happened to Rachel Sampson, and she went and told Miss Rhodes that her father beat her when she got a D in math, and Mrs. Rhodes reported it to some state agency. Next thing you know, there was some social worker nosing around asking all Rachel's friends if Mr. Sampson molested her. And Rachel was so embarrassed that she didn't come to school for a week. So I know you're not reading this, but if you were, I'd have to say that you shouldn't feel bad that I'm not letting you read what I really think about. Okay, we're going to stop there for today, and we'll pick up tomorrow at September the 25th. Have a great rest of your day, Team Alabama. Add to your facts, add to your questions. Let's see about those vocab. Have a great day.